All right. Good morning, everyone. It is about 50 degrees outside, mid-April, and I got some additional muscadines to replace the ones that I had overwintered in the shed with a space heater to keep them above 10 degrees Fahrenheit. But the mice also like things to be above 10 degrees Fahrenheit on cold nights, and they went in and ate the roots out and killed them all. Dang field mice. So I got, let me know if these are, see, this one, Black Loomis, and I think I got Cohort. Yeah. Cohort. So there's Cohort and Black Loomis. Got them from Willis Orchard. I believe they're in Georgia, but these are bare root. They came in like this. I ran out of inoculant, but this Roots Organic stuff has a little bit of it in there, but it has NPK as well. So I did like a quarter strength starting last night, and I just got a normal aquarium pump you can get off the internet. I went for like a larger, let's see if this even has 60 watt output, 70 liters. It's kind of hard to read. Let me unplug it. I'm done with it. So yeah, 70 liters a minute is the output. And this will do, I just had this because of the windstorm last night. They said a possible, one of the air stones fell off. Wait, no, it's right here. Yeah, so I had 3 air stones. This is enough. And this is the size of the air stones. But this is enough power to do like 5 air stones well. So you can do a big tote bigger than this with that many air stones. And so in the growing season, I can get the bigger tote, which is that one there with the tubes in it, which is like triple the size of this one. I can fill it almost to the top and aerate all night. And then I can go and inoculate, not inoculate, well, really inoculate, but then also like fertilize everything with just the tote. I'll just get like a bowl or something, like a big bowl, and then 1 bowl per tree, something like that. That's what I've been doing. Plants are really small still. The trees are really small. I'm going to go plant these muscadines. There's 8 of them. I got 5 out there already. So there's supposed to be 14. Wait, is there 5? 5, this is 8. The math, I don't worry about math right now, even though it's really simple math, super simple. I got other worries. So I have some, these came in a pot. These came in like half gallon kind of thing. And they look real beat up bad, but they're still alive. These are service berries, the smoky cultivar service berries. I have a 5th one I ran out of soil on, so I just like put a little soil on the top and then watered it in with the quarter strength. So those are the service berries. And then I got some news. Let me show you out on the jujubes. All right, so the jujubes are showing, let me zoom it in. I think are flowers. They're not supposed to fruit the first year. So if they do fruit, I don't know. They might drop their fruit, but like, so these are cold hardy that I can get. They're honey jar. And I think Lee, let me just check. Yeah. Lee and honey jar. So that's a Lee. And this one should be, yeah, honey jar. And I'm alternating them a little bit for cross-pollination. So like there's one there, one here, opposite cultivars. Then we got some figs that you guys already seen. And then we got more, then they're mixed in with figs and persimmon up here. I was gonna put serviceberry up here too, but I decided not to put them on this ridge because this is sandy loam, but it's real stony. And again, I haven't mowed yet, so bear with me on that. But looking at, I didn't plan this. Let me give you guys just one more little thing. I didn't plan like the biodiversity on this land. I wasn't really looking for land, and I always wanted an earthen home. I always wanted land, but I was trying to get my credit right back then, and plus, like, trying to find something is really, like, with that criteria in mind, it's not the easiest thing. So we got an earthen house, as you can see there. Then I got lucky. And then we got land, 6.5 acres, and then there's 2 pockets of it from where I didn't mow, starting to go back uphill there, where I didn't mow that line back towards this tree line, that little gap, and then from that tree line there all the way up back to this ridge, ending where the dog is, that cuts this way. All that is fine sandy loam. And I have another pocket almost the same size in the backyard. So I didn't plan this. I also didn't plan for the biodiversity of the plant life. So this is like prime sheep grazing here. Like, we have forbs here. We have grasses here. We have tons of legumes as well. Let's see if I can find. Here, I'll show you. Give me a sec. Also, last season, this was full of this whole thing. If you see my last videos from last year, I was mowing with the mower. I shouldn't have been doing that, but I was mowing with a ride mower, and there was a giant ragweed that was 6 feet tall. This whole area was giant ragweed up into the muscadine trellis, and around the muscadine trellis on the other side of that was some other shrub, maybe 4 feet tall, 3 to 4 feet tall. So it let me know that there was like different soil, like from here up, and then from there down, it's different. So I'm planting the same plants on both types. I'll find out what happens down the road. I'm thinking it's just more moist down there and less moist up here is the difference. But I have a row of pears down there on the other side of the muscadine trellis, and I have a row of pears right here as well. I've got another row up here. But this was a soil up here where the tall ragweed, the giant ragweed, I think this is what this is here, giant ragweed. I think, I could be wrong. I only saw the leaves once, and that was last year for the first time, and I mowed it all down. And but the shit wasn't like this. The remnants of some of it is over here. It died off, and it's regrowing from the canes that were left behind. I got to get rid of those. Those are prime grazing. Cows love them. Sheep and goats love ragweed. But unfortunately, I mowed it all down. But we still have a good amount of legumes down here. Like, there is like cow parsley. This is another forb. So sheep love forbs more than grasses. And things grow in clusters here. So like, there's the wild lettuce, or whatever you want to call this stuff. It's here too. And so you can see a lot of the forbs mixed in. This is like almost all forb here. Little grass, so prime sheep grazing. So the people before us, they didn't till. Like, if you go look, let me show you. So just take an eye view of our pasture, and then I'm going to take you to where our next door neighbor has horses and cows. There's like maybe, I don't know, like maybe 5-6 cows and I think 2 horses. They're on maybe 10 acres, something like that. Let me give you a view of that. To look at the difference though in biodiversity and whatnot. All right, so this is their fence. And you can see there's a few forbs that are allowed to grow out. I don't know how much I can zoom before it gets blurry. The sun is in the camera land of the screen right now. But it's predominantly grass. So the cows, they go after the broadleaf stuff first because it has the most, its solar panel is bigger than a blade of grass. So a blade of grass, let me just zoom back out, the solar panel is real thin and small, but with a broadleaf, it's way wider. So there's more potential for sugar per leaf than per blade of grass. And so what you'll notice is that as long as the forb isn't, and by forb I mean like a broadleaf, something that goes in a flower. So it's a forb. So they'll go after those as long as they're not too bitter or tannic. Cattle do like some tannic in their grazing, and the more tannic it is, the more you have parasite resistance. But overly tannic, it'll start drying you out and dehydrating you. So like a cow won't do anything. Goats do better with tannic stuff than cows, way better. But even goats have their limits. But with cows, you'll notice they go after the forbs first. And so here, it's kind of desolate. My other neighbor, they till. This, at least, you have manure and you have the hooves going in and aerating the soil, more of a natural way, even though it's overly grazed. This is overly grazed. Never gets to rest, ever. The only time it gets to rest is in the winter. But, you know, it's for nothing because it's the winter time. So let me show you the other neighbor. All right. Got sidetracked for a few hours there, a couple hours at least. But on the way to the other neighbor to check their soil health, we do have like wild mulberries. They're real little, but they're pretty tasty. So we got a couple females. This one here, that big one there. Okay, so just going in the back, this is where all the clay soil is here. And that way, it's clay and then heavily compacted. So if you look at the growth, I didn't mow this different. I mowed once last year. I didn't mow this different than anything else. And we don't really take this trail often, really. So it's still here. That's a native pecan. This one here, actually, there's a few other big ones like this on the property. Give me a sec, let me pause it. And then when you go to the neighbors right next to us, it's a little bit less. I know they tilled this with a tractor. I don't know if they tilled the whole thing. I know last year they came through and did some work on it. There's still some biodiversity, not as bad as the cattle. It doesn't look like. But not as good as this. I came through, I don't know, maybe September or so and mowed. There's a Capalta tree. Really nice when it flowers. Got another one in the front yard. All right, I don't show my video often, but yeah, I got had 8 muscadine plants to put in the ground because again, the rats came last season and over the winter and ate the roots out, because in the wintertime everything's dormant, and so the rats, or the mice, field mice, have very little to eat in comparison to the growing season. So they, you know, and plus it was warmer in there because I had the space heater, and they ate and ate and ate until I think I had one left. It was a Summit muscadine. That's in the ground, leafing out now all the way to the top of the wire. So once it V's off long enough, another maybe 4 or 5 inches, I'll tape it. It has a little tape gun. I'll tape it to the wire. It's a 9-gauge wire that goes all the way across, and continue taping it. Each V, or each length of the V, will go 10 feet to the next muscadine. And then I'll chop the ends, and they'll grow down like an umbrella from there with fruit. So I'll put the muscadines in the ground, and then I got some fertilizer, organic stuff. I gotta go get a hoe. I got a hoe around all the trees today, but I put in some not oyster shells. This one was eggshells. I had a lot of eggshells left over. I put through a coffee grinder, turned it into a powder, collected them for like 6 months. And then I put in some neem seed meal. I put in some, let's see, what else did I put in there? Just like a green, like a vegetative, like a powder fertilizer. I put some of that in there. It was water soluble stuff, so I put that in there. And then I put azomite in, and then I put in a phosphorus amendment in as well. And then I mix it all up, and then I put it around maybe 8 inches from the trunk, from the little mini trunk, all the way around, and dug it down about 2 inches deep, real well. Didn't water it in. I'm gonna wait for the next rain to do it for me. I got another 8 figs to plant. So if you've been following, let me flip the camera again. Give me a sec. Okay, so 4 hours later, I'm getting some of the spring cleaning. Spring, it's like a late spring now. Done, or mid-spring. And I got 3 pots cleaned out. All this organized. I'm starting to get ready some other pots. I put some neem oil, or I'm sorry, neem seed meal in the soil. And actually, this is new soil. This is a new pot. This is old. These are old. I haven't done that one yet. Neem seed meal, and then just brush it in the top inch or so, and then I just put wood chips on top to prepare for some planting. I went to the store to get this here, and as you know, whenever you go to the store, you always come back with things that you didn't plan. It was a bad idea, man, for me to. My mom had the kids, and I was home alone, and I just gardened literally all day long, from morning till what is it, like 4:17 now. So gardened all day. But yeah, I went to Tractor Supply for a hoe, and then realized after hoeing around 2 trees that this is way too labor intensive to do. So these are better for like newly sprouted like forbs and whatnot, not like grass. But anyways, what else I picked up, again, I focused on the orchard this year, so I didn't even start any seeds like I normally do. Normally, if you watched me for the last 5 years, it's been gardening with just very few trees. But so I didn't start anything. So I got a couple eggplants. I got some Thai basil, some giant Marconi peppers, and one of them had 2 in 1. So I split them up, ripped the roots up, and now I have 4 instead of 3. I paid for 3. Oh, and then I got some tomatoes here. I just up potted them all because I don't want to put them. I don't want to put them in these pots from last year because the roly-polies will come and eat the leaves all up. So you could even see some. Well, is that a roly-poly? Yeah, a little. Well, not necessarily a roly-poly, but yeah, there's hundreds of them in each pot. So maybe not hundreds, but like maybe 100 per pot. So I cleaned up. I still got to clean this up, but I cleaned up. These are already going to be going out in the field. These have the best new growth, the figs. So if you look at the new growth, it's nice and vibrant on all of them. So I'm gonna plant these out in the field. These are gonna be the second round figs. These are actually not cold tolerant. These are, I believe these are Coldedom Roja. So those 2 are not cold hardy. All these are, and then I got some more, these are zucchini. So I got 6 zucchini back there. And then wisteria vine I got from Tractor Supply. I'm gonna vine it up somewhere nice and pretty. I don't know, maybe up that pole there. Who knows? But yeah, so that's oh, and then I also up potted a tree. This one I air layered from last year, and I didn't put it in the shed. I forgot it outside. But luckily it's so native that even in a pot left outside, I think it got down like 5 degrees, 3 or 5 degrees Fahrenheit this winter, a few nights. The roots didn't freeze, it didn't die. So it came back to life. So I up potted it. It came out of dormancy, I up potted it. I think next season I'll plant it out in the field. But that is a Capalta tree, air layered off of one. Back behind those there. It's another one behind those ones. So the muscadines, I got 8 planted. There was 5 original. I planted 8 to replace the ones that the mice got to. So now there's 14 is planned. The 14th gummy berry though, on the very, very far edge, it didn't make it. I had 2 extras, but I gave them to my parents so that they can have some because they don't have any at all. So I gave them a couple Sweet Scarlet gummy berries. So yeah, that's the update. And here's what I hoed here. So I hoed around this. There's Bermuda. I really hate Bermuda. Like I really do. Like that's the grass I hate the most of all at Bermuda. It might not be so bad like in like I don't know, like Illinois, New York, but down south here it'll overwinter on you, and there's no way getting rid of it once you get it. So, and then the seeds will blow. So like even if I had no Bermuda, the neighbor's seed would blow, and this one they have Bermuda too. They'll blow over, and same problem all over again. So I'm gonna come with a ride mower and mow this down, and I think I might put some weed fabric. But from what I've experienced, you need 2 layers of weed fabric. 1 layer not enough. You need at least 2, if not 3, just to be safe. Because we had the most expensive one last year, and it grew through just 1 layer. It grew through the weaving. But where we had it overlapped, it didn't grow through the like overlap weaving. So 2, if not 3 layers of weed fabric. It's about 5 now. I don't think I have anything left to do today. Let me think here. No, so I have all 5 trees planted. Those 5, they're the smoky serviceberry, but I'm gonna let the roots fill out those pots. They're 2 gallon, probably 3 gallon pots. I'm gonna let the roots fill out. So about a month, 2 months from now, I'll plant them out midsummer. Smoky serviceberry. Other than that, we got about 120 or so trees planted this season so far. And then that's with the 8 to replace the mulberries that died over the winter. But there's another, actually there's gonna be another 120, it's about 130 with the smoky serviceberries, and then probably another 10 figs, so 140 trees this season by the time we're done. And then in the fall, we're gonna start pecans. I'm gonna plant about 6 pecan trees, and then possibly getting chestnut trees. So I got a grower here that grows them pretty cheap, and he grows. They're hybrid, so they're hybridized with the disease tolerant American variety, but also with Chinese variety. So they're not completely Chinese, not completely American, and they do grow well in our soil. But their pH that they require, it needs to be below, I believe he said a 6.3. Anything below or above like a 6.2, 6.3, the certain minerals will not. You'll have problems. I would imagine like zinc, boron, manganese, like all the ones that are better with higher acidic soil, like blueberries. Anything above like a 6.2 doesn't do so well. So I'm gonna get those this winter, this fall, hopefully. And then based on observing what does the best with disease pressure, pest pressure this season, I'm gonna try to duplicate any gaps, especially for things that I need to pull up or things that died that didn't do well. I'm gonna replace with the things that did the best. So my initial research was what does best with possible -10 Fahrenheit winters on a bad year, like a bad decade really. And then what does well with like 103, 105 at like 80%, 90% humidity on occasion. And what for those 2 extremes produce well in our PB soil, and then also our stony soil, and then also our clay soil. We're around about a 6, from what I've seen, about a 6.5, 6.3, somewhere around their pH in our soil. But so my original list, all the stuff that you've seen so far was filtered through that criteria, as well as like what tastes good and is not disgusting to eat. So that was my criteria, but based on just the research is one thing, but based on what really does well, that's another. So the end of this season, we'll know a little bit better. Last season, we used lessons learned, again, from my parents' homestead, and we brought the strongest trees from there here. We didn't even guess it. We just put them here as well, because they're about 20 minutes away to the west of us. So 20 minutes away. So it's the same environment, same climate. But if you guys have any questions, any comments, let me know. Any questions about any of the cultivars? I don't know if I mentioned all of them by name, but there's quite a few cultivars here. Hit me up in the comments. Otherwise, again, thanks for watching.